right, we are Marty's Gang. This is Musically Incorrect. Tonight we are going to be covering Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi. Tonight with us, original member of Marty's Gang, Hops.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you guys having me on.
You were the red laser guy. You got a job when you're 12 years old and saved up for an amazing car that none of us had. And we heard both Appetite for Destruction and probably Slippery When Wet first in that car, hoping to meet some pretty girls on the beach.
You sure that wasn't a gold rabbit?
No, it was a bronze rabbit. Yeah,
we're absolutely sure.
The rabbit stalled at Marty's.
Yeah.
And then you'd pick us up because you actually had a car that worked.
And the owner of the rabbit called rock pieces oh shit. But anyways,
we were only trying to help, I'm sure.
Did you ever fix that hole in the floor?
No, it was plywood.
All right.
So yeah, so we're gonna talk one of the reasons that we kind of wanted to bring in the Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet album is first concert Otto and Hops went to was PC Place.
Bon Jovi, PC Place, July 2nd, 87. Only $22 for a ticket, which is back then pretty steep because I think I was only making $5.25 an hour. I don't know about you, Hops, but yeah, we took the Greyhound down to Vancouver, and it was pretty awesome.
It was a great show. You remember we got in there late though, Billy? I'm sorry.
We do.
Otto. Edit. Remember Otto? We got in there late.
We did. Yeah, and it was all because of somebody in the Marty's Gang with the initials MB. Not going to throw him under the Greyhound bus yet, but yeah, that was your fault because you needed more booze, and you didn't need more booze. All right.
He always thinks he needs more booze.
So, Bon Jovi, Slippery and Wet. We're gonna, as usual, we're switching up a little bit today. We're gonna start with track one and work it down in order, just saying where we rank them. We're just gonna
where they're actually listed on the CD, and then we'll show where we're ranking them as individuals.
Correct. So I will get this rolling. Track one on the album is Let It Rock. I've got that as my 9th favorite song. In all honesty, it's probably of the big 4 Bon Jovi albums, easily the worst opening track on an album, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I've got it at number 6. I kind of like it. Once in a while when I listen to it, the keyboard intro really gets a little long and boring, but every once in a while it hits the mark. I like it. So I got it at number 6.
Geez, I'm gonna be the outlier here. I got it actually at number 1.
Let It Rock.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I think it's the heaviest song on the album, which I really like. Number 1, the Hammond organ intro, super deep, purpley, really gritty.
Sometimes it's pretty cool.
I like the.
He's already saying shit that I'm gonna say. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm already stealing Jobber's stuff. The anthem is great in terms of the chorus and everything, but it's like it just, to me, if there's a hard rock Bon Jovi, this is the hard rock Bon Jovi, and this is where they're best at hard rock.
Love it.
No, I think your brain froze in Winnipeg there, buddy.
Told you it was only -6.
I've got it at 4. I was going to say, I think, what's his name? David Bryan, the keyboard player.
Yeah.
Actually went to Juiliard. So
that's just his stage name, by the way, Jobber. He has a real name. That's just his stage name.
Okay, sorry.
His real name is David Rauschbaum.
It's like,
I thought you would know that as a
like Rick Springthorpe. I mean.
Okay, go on.
But yeah, I was going to say the keyboard intro actually kind of reminded me of Emerson, Lake and Palmer to some extent. Very heavy classical. The sound is very ELP. So yeah, shout out to Keith Emerson. He obviously was a fan to put that kind of intro together. The rest of the song, rippy guitar, kind of a Joan Jett kind of feel to it. So yeah, middle of the road for me, 4-ish.
It's good.
Okay, Tops.
Interesting. I'm finding this fascinating because I got to tell you guys, I thought this song set off this album. Like it just kind of had that slow rolling intro, just the drums in the background. I love the keyboards. I had it at number 5. It's kind of middle of the pack for me, but I got to tell you, this to me is how you start a concert. This song.
Yes,
really,
and that's how they started most concerts back in the day.
Yeah,
wow.
but
okay.
The Runaway, In and Out of Love, Lay Your Hands on
No,
Me.
Runaway
I
is weak.
Why do you have to compare?
Runaway is so weak.
Because that's what we do on this show.
Bill or Otto, I like those songs better, Otto. The only thing I would say is that this is the slow roll. You know, like if you give it all up right out of the gate, you got nothing left in the tank. For me, this saves it, and I love the way it flows. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Excellent.
Track number 2, You Give Love a Bad Name. Track number 2 is my second favorite song. It's just freaking awesome. That's all I can say.
It is awesome, but I have it at number 3. I love the lyrics. Richie's solo is amazing in that song. It's one of those ones that I can never get sick of, and I'm glad that it's on this album because I still play this album quite a bit to this day.
Yeah, we listened to this a couple of times. My wife's favorite song by Bon Jovi is probably this song. And when we talk about musical structure, which in this house inevitably happens all the time, is you got a lot of guts to start a song with a chorus. You gotta make sure that chorus is 100% going to kick everyone in the balls and make sure that it carries the whole thing. This song does do that. I like Richie's guitar playing a lot on this track. For me, it is 4. Overplay. We've talked about the overplayed and got to stay in context and everything. But yeah, there's a lot of really good things in this song. The octavator guitar effect with Richie, I really like it. And higher register for John's voice. Lots of good things about it.
Albert.
It's a really classic 80s song. It's got a real anthem feel to it. Great chorus. The only downside, I think, is the keyboards. As much as I like the keyboard intro and the way it kicks off the album, this one, it just kind of takes away from it, dates it a little bit. It would have sounded a lot
I think there's more of that coming.
Good call. Great video, too, by the way.
Where do you put it, Jobber?
Let's see. I got that at 3.
3? Okay. Hops?
Well, I'm going to echo Jobber's number 3. That's where I had it. What I would say about this song is I played the crap out of this song. I love this song. It just, for me, I listen to it too much. I tend to overdose on songs. It's radio friendly. It's at 3. And, I go back to it every once in a while, guys, and listen to it. I love it, but it's definitely not. What's that?
Is it cold over your house, Marty? Freezing up. Yeah, there you go.
Usually it's pretty cold.
I was going to say it's a blizzard here, but then that wouldn't affect Hops and you guys because you're like a kilometer away from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, number 3, guys. Great song.
Nice. Great.
All right, track number 3 on the album. Easily the most well-known Bon Jovi song, right? Living on a Prayer.
No.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
And yes, it's played everywhere. You hear it a million times, but that doesn't take it away from me. It is my favorite song on the album. Love it.
Wow. Okay.
It's a great song. It's an awesome video. I have it at number 2. I do have a soft spot for any song that uses the talk box. So Richie does a damn good job on that one. I love the song. Number 2 for me.
I got it.
Number 1. Oh, sorry,
Jobber.
Don't
worry. I've got a bass story that'll.
Gotta get ahead of you, man.
Yeah, I got it 5. To me, it's like it's that shift from glam metal, hard rock metal becoming pop, and Living on a Prayer is that. It's that song that changes everything, kind of in the mid '80s, and now they found a way to mix pop with hard rock, and all the pieces are in it. Talkbox is amazing. Or sorry, is it? Yes, and I liked it. It's the Frampton version of the Talkbox is messy and spitty and everything. Richie's version is awesome. The one thing that I would say is that you're never going to hear a conversation ever about bass playing on Bon Jovi. And Alec John Such, which sounds like a fake name, which probably is. And I don't know if he knew Chris Burke Gaffney and named it after a famous ship here in Manitoba and they called it Non-Such. But anyways, Alec John Such's bass playing is really good on this song. He moves on top. He plays in front of the beat. He keeps a very active bass. And to tell you the truth, it's the only time I've actually listened in my mind and heard a bass track on Bon Jovi. And his bass playing is actually incredible. How the choices he makes are really tasty.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right, Jobber, you got nothing left, eh?
Well, actually, I didn't even think about that, but I got it at number one, as I said. Yeah, I think the bass does move it along. It's very nimble but very subtle, so it's not like it's right in your face, but it's not like Chris Squire. But it really carries that song along. I think it's such an upbeat song. Like you just can't be in a bad mood and listen to that song. Like Feel It Again, My Honeymoon Suites, like that, where it just gets you pumped up, puts you in a good
I think
mood.
that's Randy's theme song from '89 was Feel It Again.
Actually, Rock and I have a question for you, Jobber. Is Chris Squire Billy's younger brother?
Yeah, we've never heard of that guy.
Yeah, in alternate universes.
He's related to Billy Squire somehow.
Bass player from Yes. So.
That's
rest in peace.
Yeah, that's right. I would know him probably as likely as I would know Yanni's music.
Wow.
What about Zamfir?
Oh, Zamfir, he rocks. He does. Yeah.
Okay, Hops.
Well, Otto, I got this at number 2, and I too love the voice box. For me, this is storytelling at its finest from Bon. It's like blue collar Jersey feel, telling that story. He's always talking about Gina, and I can't remember if it's Bobby or Johnny or Tommy. Good old Tommy. For me, it's kind of Springsteen.
Tommy and Gina make a reappearance in It's My Life in the year 2000 off the Crush album. Great tune as well.
Okay, just before you finish, Hops, it's because Bon Jovi stole a lot of his songwriting from Rick Springfield. But anyways, go on.
Could happen.
What the hell?
I love the storytelling in this. I really do. And I think it's a great song. Sure. I had it number 2. And for me, this is this almost defines Bon Jovi, this song.
Yeah. Agree. All right, moving on to track 4. Wow, Do We Fall? Social Disease. Social Disease. Easily the album. It is the only filler track on this album, so it's probably in Jason's top 2 or 3.
Yeah. Which horrible song is this?
Social Disease. At number 10.
Okay.
Yeah. I hate this fucking song. I love Bon Jovi. I hate this darn song. I think that this song is the only reason that this probably isn't my favorite album of all time.
Wow.
And it's kind of crazy. I actually recently reconnected with a buddy of mine from back in the day, and we happened to be talking about this album, and he went on a rant about how he loves Social Disease. Wow. I almost kicked him out of the house. No, is
that a guy we know that had a certain Camaro in the 80s?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Wow. All right.
He'll be watching this.
What? Oh, the IROC?
Yeah. Oh, he loves Social Disease. He thinks it's good. Oh, yeah. We'll have another chat about that later.
All right.
It's not good. I have it at number 10.
I got Social Disease at 8.
8.
Yeah. As horrible as it is, the worst thing about it is the fact that, like we were talking about earlier, there could be great synth lines from David Bryan or David Bronofsky or whoever was from Loverboy.
David Rushbaum.
All right.
Michael Ranofsky?
Yeah, Pete, you'll have to talk to your upstate buddy about that. But these synths are those fake horn Casio synths at the beginning. They just drive me freaking crazy. I can't even hear the rest of the song because of those horny synths, and it's just they're the worst. So I got it there at 8.
Jobber.
7. That would be a great band name, the Horny Synths. It kind of reminds me with that synth sound. Aerosmith's dude looks like a lady. There's really, there's nothing very remarkable about this song. In fact, Janet Jackson, Black Cat, very similar. That was her attempt at a hard rock song, and
another great video
reminds me of that.
David
So
Bryan,
if Bon Jovi reminds you of Janet Jackson, then
David Bryan is not
maybe something not quite right there.
No.
Hops.
I got a theory, boys. You can't have 10 amazing songs on an album. You have to have one crappy song. Then everything else, it brings every.
You're right.
Exactly. You can't have good without bad. You can't have light without dark. You can't have slippery when wet without social disease. Worst song I've heard in my life, maybe. Wow. I hate it, but I love the album, and I think it just. We always talked about this growing up. Don't you remember that conversation? Why is this even on the album? It's like an afterthought. It's like, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
And part of the problem is it's universally such a unloved song. All you guys have been my buddies for like almost 40 years. So you remember me like really taking school seriously and stuff and like showing up all the time.
Wow.
So if there's any keeners out there, instead of Social Disease, it was supposed to be Edge of a Broken Heart. Check out that song on YouTube. That would probably be my number 2 on this album.
Didn't you set the record at our high school for most not showing up ever?
Well,
the X Block.
Like,
I did have a couple of spares.
Rock, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I would be like having a smoke between like 4 classes, and you'd be coming back from like the convenience store, and you're like, yeah, I got another spare after this. It's like you had like somehow 4 spares in one day on a Wednesday.
Marty's convenience store wasn't that far from my house, so I had to go back and forth. That's just kind of how I rolled back in the day.
You were feeding your.
He doesn't feel tardy.
He was feeding his family. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. So
JT, the fact
you
that
keeners out there, check out "Edge of a Broken Heart."
All right,
great song, Rock. That's a great song, JT. The fact that you knew that he was heading down to that convenience store means that you were hanging out at the wall for most of the day.
Well, they had to smoke somewhere, Hops.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Smoking isn't skipping. It's in between classes.
All right. Moving on to track number 5, Wanted Dead or Alive. Putting that in as my number 3. Fave video though from that album.
Oh, great video. Great video. Sorry, did you say number 3?
Number 3 for me.
Okay. So for me, that's number 1. And actually my favorite song of all time. So there's another tidbit of all time.
Randy's
I love it.
I'm changing my rating now.
You just want to be contradictory to me, don't you? It's going down to 10.
I actually go out of my way to not be contradictory.
Okay, sure.
And Christine's told me to stop being the contrarian, but
yes.
I got it.
Oh yeah, number 1.
Dead or Alive, I got it number 3 for sure. I got a question. Is it a power ballad or not?
No.
What?
Yeah.
No.
That's right.
No,
you're not.
You're not a power ballad. Trust me, I'm the king of the power ballad.
Why isn't it a power ballad?
We don't have another half an hour to this episode.
All right, fine. Go on. Jobber, take it.
We will discuss it.
Power ballad episode coming your way soon.
All right, number 2. Like I like the dramatic aspect to it. It has that spaghetti western. There's a new stranger in town. Great dramatic solo. It's just got various moods to it that make it work so well. I think this is definitely Bon Jovi firing on all cylinders. Great tune.
Definitely. Yeah. Except unless they took some of the ideas from Wanted Man by Rad.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Like the word
very
wanted in the title?
Completely wrong, but very interesting.
Probably a Rick Springfield song somewhere in there. Hops?
Yeah, I mean, I got to chime in on this, guys. For me, it's number 1, and I agree with Rock. My favorite Bon song of all time. The thing I love about it is I love Richie's guitar work on this. The 12-string has amazing. It resonates with me. It's almost like Bob Seger's turn the page kind of slow roll again. So I know what you're saying, guys, on the power ballad thing. Is it, isn't it? I kind of think it isn't, but I love the build up in the song. I love the guitar in the song. I love everything about it. I got it at number 1.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. We are moving on to side number 2. Starting off with Raise Your Hands, which personally I think would have been a way better start to the album. I have Raise Your Hands at number 5.
I like the song because, like I said, the only bad song is Social Disease, but I've got it at number 8.
Wow. That's surprisingly low.
All
right. I got it at number 2. I love the energy.
Oh, whoa. That's pretty high, dude. How many number 2s do you have over there?
You only got one.
I'm gonna say one thing. Me and my wife had a big argument today. Not a big argument, but we had a discussion today about whether the opening riff is exactly Bark at the Moon or not. To me, it is. To her, it's not. Because Jake does a descending line into pentatonic major and says it's different. So
I love the pentatonic.
I missed this conversation.
I'll mention one thing. Another member of Marty's gang, we've been talking the past week about the episodes and everything, and mentioned we were doing this with Hops. His name would be Giulio Africaluce, and he puts this one at number 1.
Really?
Okay,
and on that note, Hops and I went out for dinner with another original Marty's gang member, and the boy with the red cheeks, and he wanted to mention one thing to you, JT. Just because it's a hard song to play doesn't mean it's good.
I like that.
Well said.
You know what? I hope his kids come here for a hockey tournament so he can sit out on my west-facing deck and get a really bad sunburn while I tell him that's the opposite.
Jobber.
6. Like very good, fast-paced riff. Great use of pinch harmonics. It's probably where you got the Aussie reference from, JT. It would make a very good opening song to any concert they do.
Yeah,
I mean, that would really kick it into gear. Other than that, I think I could almost see Kiss doing this.
Well, that's the biggest compliment ever.
For who?
That's a good question.
Like Gene's just gonna hork him.
For Gene or for John? I don't know.
Can I get some royalties for this?
Guarantee Ace doesn't care.
No.
Hops.
I'm going to echo Jobber's comments. I had it at 6. I think it's a great song. I like what Otto said about it could have been the first song if Let It Rock wasn't so damn good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would put Let It Rock first myself too.
Okay, I'm stopping both of you there. Okay. Track number 7, Without Love. I got that at number 8. It's a good song, but nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing fantastic.
Good song, good ballad, but I got it at number 9.
Yeah, this is the exact type of 80s ballad that is why I tend to listen more to the 70s. So for me, it's number 10. It's a song about a hooker that you feel sorry for that you paid.
Isn't that Pretty Woman?
How do you know what that feels like?
I still can't believe that
it's still the fake. There's a lot of real Springsteen on this album. There's a lot of fake Springsteen on this album. That's the fake Springsteen. Without Love.
Oh, you forgot to mention
Rick
Springfield on this album. Jobber.
There's no Springfield on this album.
There is no Rick Springfield.
Delusional.
We would have set it on fire if there was.
Number 9. I like the chorus. I think the keyboards are a bit on the syrupy side. Doesn't really do it for me that much.
Man, you're a keyboard hater.
Pops. What about Billy Squire's brother?
I know.
You know,
he played.
You guys, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was actually a choice for our grad song.
Wow! Again, we have
I actually vaguely remember that discussion.
It was like in the top 3. I will tell you, I don't love this song. I got it at number 7. I am like Otto. I do love the power ballad. This one just didn't do it for me personally. But I still think it's one of those. There's a couple lines in it that I thought were a little cheesy. That you and me in your back seat, my back seat, that kind of. I just thought it was a little cliche. But anyway, I got it at 7. It's he's, you know what? A lot of people know him for this song. People I would say that aren't really Bon fans would know this song.
Yep.
So it's a deep track for Bon Jovi, sort of.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Track number 8 for third song, side 2. I Die For You. Actually, that's my favorite track off of side 2. Putting that at number 4.
I love that track too. I've got it at number 5. He's very famous. This might have been the first one of about 5 or 6 different songs that he kind of did the same thing in the chorus, but I still love it. Yeah, I've got it at number 5.
Okay, I got it at 6. Me and Quiggy once again had a little bit of a discussion about the influences of John Bon Jovi working as kind of a cleanup assistant guy for his brother, Tony Bon Jovi, who was an engineer producer for Orphan on the Lonely at Night album. And to me, this is the only thing left in the repertoire of Bon Jovi where there's still some Orphan in it. So there's a little bit of Orphan, and there's a little bit of the even Saga. There's a bit of kind of like On the Flyer by Saga, where it has these driving kind of almost drone lines underneath on the keyboard and the synth. It's kind of the end of this period in the late 70s, early 80s, where it's proggy and anything that was still left in the proggy world that Bon Jovi had in him. This is it, this song. So I like it, but it's not Bon Jovi to me. It's more, I'm getting way more CanCon out of it than Bon Jovi.
Fair. Jobber?
5. Yeah, it does. I actually like the keyboards on this. It reminds me of their earlier work, like Runaway. I like the really good hooky verse, the pre-chorus. It does have that Bruce Springsteen feel to it in some ways, but the solo itself is very more like Jimmy Page. So it's an interesting combination on this.
Wow. Ops?
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, Jobber. It's that Jersey thing again. It's blue collar. I love this song. I got it at 4. I wanted to pick it first. I'm not gonna lie to you. This song for me, just the whole concept of the song is very powerful to me. It almost feels like a Journey song to me in some ways. It's like an anthem, and I love it.
It is very.
And anyway, I put it at 4.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Great.
Track number 9 would be Never Say Goodbye. Just a quick note, when we saw him live, do you remember it was just him and his acoustic, and he went out like in the middle of BC Place and just played that song? I remember that part. I got that song at number 7.
I love this track. I've got it at number 4.
Yeah, I'm at number 9 with Never Say Goodbye, and I've never really listened to this track a lot. I've heard it a few times. When I listened to it today, I imagined Rock and Otto out in a car, standing behind it, drinking Rockaberry by themselves, listening to this song because they're the only two people.
Well, I'd hate to contradict you, but there's literally 50 songs we did that to.
And we're much better than Rockaberry.
That's right.
I'm talking like Peach Cooler.
Oh, leave it at 9. Jobber.
We had some baby duck nights.
Okay, 10. That sappy chorus is a real.
How do
negative.
I have it at 4 and you have it at 10?
You guys weren't in idle back looking at each other listening to songs because Jobber, you excluded from that romantic period.
I'm holding a grudge. What do you expect? But yeah, no, I mean the chorus just made, every time I listen to it, I have to listen to something like "Hole in the Sky" by Black Sabbath to just flush that out of my brain. It's just
palate cleanser.
Yeah.
There's just no romance in you, Jobber.
No,
Bob's
you're a robot.
Goodbye to romance.
You guys are killing me, man. I just don't understand how we can't all have social disease at 10.
Yeah,
this is what's boggling my brain. I got it at 9. Not gonna lie, it's not my favorite, but it's still a strong song. I mean, there's so many good songs on this album. When you guys are going, okay, rate them 1 to 10 or 10 to 1, it's like there's only one song I had a question about, and it was like, well, Social Disease automatically went to 10. After that, it was, it was tough. I'm not going to lie. It was a bit of work. I listened to this in the Vancouver airport for like an hour because we had a layover, and I'm listening to this album. And I'm going, man, I love all these songs. This reminds me of growing up. But yeah, I had it at 9, guys.
You've grown up, okay.
Settle down.
Okay, the last track on the album, Wild in the Streets. I think it's a good way to finish an album. Good song. Number 6.
I've got that at number 7. I like it as well. I don't have any complaints with it. It's not necessarily a standout or anything, but it's a good track.
Yeah, I got a number 7. I like it, and as Hops mentioned earlier, and Jobber, more Springsteen here. Wild in the Streets is something that could be derived from Born to Run, and really good drumming, very similar like how Max Weinberg would attach a song. Tico Torres is the drummer. I remembered his name.
Tico.
Great energy, great energy, good tempo. Good song.
Drummer.
Got it at 8. I didn't find it that memorable. Keyboards remind me of like Cyndi Lauper or something like that.
Wow.
Wow. It doesn't work for me. Sorry.
Wow. Such a hater.
It's honest.
Where are you, Hops?
I had it at 8 also, and it's a solid song. It's just not a top 5er for me on this album. But I do want to tell you guys, the first ink I ever got was off the Bon Jovi tour bus at the Flying Dutchman. You got the I'm not kidding. See that right there? That's the logo from this album.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
this is a whole other story.
It meant something to me back in the day, and great album. I had this one at 8, same as you, Jobber.
Right on.
Nice.
Okay,
all right.
So hold on. I Otto, you've mentioned this before. You like to kind of sum up top 10, top 20, top 30. Where is this album in your total aspect before we get to the final track?
Slippery When Wet would be my top 50 of all time.
Top 50.
Top 50. I actually have 3 Bon Jovi albums in my top 50 of all time. This is only my 3rd favorite Bon Jovi album, but yes. Yeah.
Wow.
What Bon Jovi album's better?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Bon Jovi in the top 50.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm not criticizing. I'm just like, there's a better Bon Jovi album than this. Like what?
These days, he's got These Days in there. He's sitting on that one. I know that's a closet favorite.
No, These Days is not good at all.
I love it.
I love it. Okay,
so Slippery is actually my 4th favorite album of all time.
Wow. Okay.
All time.
Yeah.
And I have 3 Bon Jovis in my top 10 of all time.
Wow.
Including These Days.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a listen to These Days. I've never even heard of that album.
You do. You would love it.
You
gotta listen to Carnival of Souls. Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, that's right behind you, Otto. And believe me, there was a revelation when that happened. I don't know if These Days will do that, but we can hope so. Okay. So yeah, go for it.
Up.
Ready for the ranking? Okay, in 10th place, no shocker, Social Disease. 9th place, Without Love. 8th place, Never Say Goodbye. 7th, Wild in the Streets. 6, Raise Your Hands. 5, Let It Rock. 4, I Die For You. Top 3, the bronze medal would go to You Give Love a Bad Name. The silver to Just Barely Living on a Prayer. And Wanted Dead or Alive is the gold.
Yes.
Awesome.
Good.
All right, thanks, guys. Awesome episode. We're gonna have to figure out what's this album called again. They Live. These Eyes.
What?
No, wait.
What?
No,
the Unknown Bon Jovi.
These
album.
Days. You gotta check out These Days.
All right.
Not They Live. That's a horror movie.
That's a Roddy Piper movie.
Called Reality. This is